Ichigo Kurosaki is the central protagonist of Bleach, a work created by Tite Kubo, and he stands as one of the most emotionally complex heroes in anime history. At first, Ichigo appears to be an ordinary high school student living in Karakura Town, but his life is shaped from birth by an unseen burden. He is born with the rare ability to see spirits, a power that isolates him from other children and quietly prepares him for a destiny he never asked for. This supernatural awareness forces Ichigo to grow up faster than those around him, sharpening his sense of responsibility and danger long before he understands the true nature of the worlds beyond his own. Ichigo's family environment plays a critical role in shaping his character. Raised by his father Isshin, whose loud and playful behavior hides deep emotional intelligence, and caring for his two younger sisters, Ichigo grows into a protector by necessity rather than choice. The Kurosaki household is warm but chaotic, and within that chaos Ichigo learns that strength is not about authority but about presence, being there when others need you. This belief becomes the foundation of his entire moral code. The defining moment of Ichigo's life occurs in childhood with the death of his mother, Masaki Kurosaki. She is killed by a hollow while shielding him, a trauma that permanently scars his soul. Ichigo internalizes this tragedy as personal failure, believing that his weakness caused her death. From that point onward, strength becomes more than a goal, it becomes a form of emotional penance. Every fight Ichigo enters is fueled by the silent vow that no one else will die because he was not strong enough. This guilt-driven motivation is the emotional core of his character and explains his reckless willingness to risk his own life for others. Living in a world where the human realm overlaps with the spirit world exposes Ichigo to conflicting values. The rigid structure and traditions of Soul Society clash with Ichigo's deeply human perspective. Where Soul Society prioritizes order and hierarchy, Ichigo prioritizes individual lives and emotional truth. This cultural contrast reinforces his role as an outsider, someone who never fully belongs to either world, yet fights to protect both. To his core, Ichigo is driven by the need to protect. Unlike many protagonists, he does not seek power for glory, revenge, or recognition. His desire is simple but emotionally heavy: to ensure that the people he cares about are safe. What he is constantly trying to prove, to himself more than anyone else, is that his existence has meaning beyond tragedy. His battles are not just physical conflicts but emotional confrontations with his own fear of loss and inadequacy. Psychologically, Ichigo is defined by contradiction. He is compassionate but capable of extreme violence when pushed. He is brave in battle yet insecure about his worth outside of it. He understands the emotions of others deeply, often recognizing pain in his enemies, yet struggles to process his own grief. His anger is not cruelty but fear of helplessness, fear of repeating the past. Rather than reflect inwardly, Ichigo copes by acting, throwing himself into danger because stopping would force him to relive memories he has never fully healed from. Within the narrative, Ichigo functions as the emotional backbone of the story. While other characters embody ideals such as duty, honor, or power, Ichigo represents raw humanity. His journey is not about becoming the strongest being alive, but about accepting who he truly is. Over time, he evolves from a reactive fighter dragged into conflict into someone who consciously chooses his path, even when the cost is high. His character arc is one of self-acceptance rather than dominance. Ichigo's abilities mirror his internal struggle. As a being who embodies Soul Reaper, Hollow, and Quincy powers, his soul is fragmented, reflecting his fractured sense of identity. His Zangetsu is unusually large and raw, symbolizing unchecked emotion and overwhelming responsibility. His fighting style is direct and aggressive, lacking ceremonial elegance, emphasizing survival over tradition. Each transformation Ichigo undergoes forces him to confront a side of himself he fears: rage, despair, or loss of control, making his power growth deeply psychological rather than purely physical. Relationships play a crucial role in revealing Ichigo's humanity. His bond with Rukia Kachiki awakens his destiny and challenges his understanding of sacrifice and duty. Their connection is built on shared loneliness and mutual respect rather than romance, highlighting Ichigo's ability to empathize without possession. His friends serve as emotional anchors, reminding him that his strength exists to protect life, not to dominate it. Even his enemies act as mirrors, reflecting possible versions of himself had he surrendered to despair or hatred. Ichigo's journey is defined by both internal and external conflict. Internally, he battles guilt, fear, and identity confusion. Externally, he faces increasingly powerful enemies who test not just his strength but his resolve. These challenges push Ichigo to the edge repeatedly, forcing him to either break or evolve. Rather than achieving peace, Ichigo reaches understanding, accepting that pain is part of existence and that carrying it forward does not diminish life's value. Symbolically, Ichigo represents the struggle of identity and belonging. In a world obsessed with labels, bloodlines, and ranks, he defies classification. He stands as a metaphor for adolescence, grief, and the search for purpose in a chaotic world. Through Ichigo, Bleach argues that humanity is defined not by origin or power, but by choice. In the end, Ichigo Kurosaki's legacy is not one of conquest or legend, but endurance. He does not erase his suffering or escape his trauma. He learns to live with it. He becomes strong without losing compassion, and faces despair without surrendering hope. Ichigo's story delivers a quiet but powerful message. True strength lies not in the absence of fear, but in standing firm despite it.